Christ's name, amen. The Bible describes the nature of love in many places. Nowhere is this expressed more beautifully than from the words of Paul found in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. The matron of honor, Roxanne, Becca's sister, will read this passage at this time.
Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres.
Love never fails. For where there are prophecies, they will fail. Where there are tongues, they will cease. Where there is knowledge, it will vanish away. For we know in part and we prophesy in part, but when that which is perfect has come, then that which is in part will be done away. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I also am known. And now abides faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love. When you think about the first portion of this chapter that Roxanne read, what kind of a world would we be living in if we truly took the teachings of Christ to heart and we loved each other and endeavored to love each other that way, forgiving each other, being patient, being committed, helping each other, forbearing, carrying each other's burdens, the troubles and the weights of life, if we would only take it to heart. Some of us endeavor to do that. And I pray we will all work a little harder at it. Me in particular. Love is the highest standard, and the reality of love can only be made possible through living in the sacrificial love of Christ. He is our example. Becca and Garrett, I charge you as I would any couple embarking on life's journey together to strive with God's help to attain the goal of loving togetherness that includes these qualities, to display to the world the type of faithful, trusting relationship that lasts, that endures through good times and difficult times. The good times are easy. They kind of take care of themselves. It's during the difficult times when you'll need each other the most, you'll need to lean on each other the hardest, keeping Christ the center of your relationship. Those are the times you will grow and mature the most. I'm confident, very confident, that both of you will do well during those difficult times. This is God's will for your lives, and it comes with a promise. The gift of peace and the gift of God's holy and powerful presence that makes love possible. I ask you both now in the presence of God and these your family and friends to declare your vows one to another, to enter into union with each other through the grace of Jesus Christ, who calls you into relationship with Him and with each other. Becca and Garrett have chosen to write their own vows. They've written the whole ceremony. as far as that goes. And primarily Becca. And so at this time, we're going to ask them to face each other, join hands. Now, Garrett says his voice is big enough to carry without the microphone, and I don't doubt that. Garrett?
Becca, I knew from the first day that I met you during our orientation, which some people here were a part of too, that there was something very special about you. I thought about you daily, not in a weird way, and would try to have little talks with you in class when I could. Everyone here, both friends and family, knew about you long before you ever met them. When I finally built up the courage to ask you out, I knew it would be the last time I ever had to ask that question. The first time we went out together, I felt as though you were the one I'd been searching for my whole life. You were beautiful, kind, smart, and clever. I feel like I've been extremely fortunate and blessed by the Lord to have found you. I think the only reason that we are together is because that is what God wanted for us. You lived on the other side of the country and decided to come to Boone, of all places, to go to school. The only way to explain that is divine intervention. I searched for you my whole life, and I'm so thankful God led us to one another. So there are a few things that I want you to know moving forward from this day of our wedding. I will always do anything I can to make sure you're happy and taken care of. I will honor you as long as I live. I will pray for you daily. I will protect you from anything and everything that life may throw our way. You will never need to question my loyalty to you. I will be a rock for you as the waves of life break and crash around us. Anything you ask me to do, I will do, Becca. I have loved you and will continue to love you forever.
My voice isn't as loud, so. Okay. I don't believe in soulmates, but if I did, you would be mine. I don't believe in fate, but if I did, you would be mine. However, I do believe in choices, and you are mine. I promise to wake up each morning and to choose you. To choose to be committed to you, to love you, and be patient with you. I choose to support you when you need it, to encourage you when you're down. Choose to be patient when you're angry, and say sorry when I'm wrong. Choose to laugh at your jokes, even when no one else will. And to never take myself too seriously, because we both never do that. I will choose to be fiercely loyal and faithful to you always. I can't promise to always be perfect, to do or say the right things, but I can promise to always give you the benefit of the doubt and to choose to be committed to our marriage together. Choose to put God first in our relationship in order to always lead with a holy example. I love you and can't wait to walk beside you throughout life, to not just be your wife, but also your best friend.
Join hands, please. Garrett, do you take Becca to be your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold from this day forward in sickness and in health, for richer or poor, till death do you part?
I do.
Becca, do you take Garrett to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward in sickness and in health, for richer or poor, till death do you part?
I do.
You have the rings. The wedding ring is the outward and visible sign of an inward and spiritual reality, signifying to all that Becca and Garrett have committed to each other through marriage. A circle has no end. As circles, these rings are symbols of your never-ending love, commitment, and affection for one another. Wear them to demonstrate your precious and valued promises to one another and your promise of faithfulness in forsaking all others. Garrett gives this ring to Becca and repeat after me, please. Becca, with this ring, I thee wed.
Becca, with this ring I thee wed.
Short and sweet. Becca, repeat after me, please. Garrett, with this ring, I thee wed.
Garrett, with this ring, I thee wed.
By the authority vested in me from God and by the state of North Carolina, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss each other. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, I present to you Mr. Garrett and Mrs. Rebecca Gillison.